This is question from 2025 JEE Maths. The remainder question is like this. The remainder when 64 raised to the power 64 raised to the power 64 is divided by 7 is equal to, these are the options you have to select from. So let us see how to solve this. The question is your 64 power 64 power 64. So we can write it as 64 as 1 plus 63 power 64 power 64. Now you know by binomial expansion that 1 plus x power n is equal to nc0 plus nc1x plus nc2x square plus dash 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 nc and x power n. Using that, we can expand it as 1 plus nc0 is 1, ncn is also 1. So I'm just writing it as 1. 1 plus 64 c1 into 63, 64 c2 into 63 square plus dash 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 plus 64 c in 64 and 64 power 63 power 63 power 64, and this whole to the power 64. Okay, now in this expression you can see that this all these terms are divisible by 7 because 63 is there and 63 comes in the table of 7. Yes, so we can assume it as, suppose I am assuming it as m. Okay, so m is divisible by, this is equivalent to m, say. Okay, this is equivalent to m, say. So now I can write it as 1 plus m whole to the power 64. Again, if you use that concept of binomial theorem, then you will get 64 c1 into m plus 64 c2 m square plus dash 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 64 c 64 m power 64, and all m's are divisible by 7. So this whole expression, therefore this expression on division by 7 will give remainder as 1. So which option it is? Option 1 is correct. So you will say option 1 is correct. One more thing I would like to say is that suppose you have the question like this: 66 power 64 power 64. What you will do? 66 on division with on division, you have to check division with 7. Suppose 7, this will give you 63 plus 3 power 64 and power 64. So it is easily seen that 63 is divided by 7, no problem. This, there will be 3 will be left. Okay, and 3 will have here 3, 1 raised to the power 64 and raised to the power 64 is 1, but 3 raised to the power 64 again raised to the power 64 is something different. So for that purpose, what you will do is that on division with 7, 66 on division with 7 gives remainder how much? Remainder as 3. So you can, now you have to check 3 power 64 and power 64, and for that the cyclicity of 3. 3 ones are 3, power 1 is 3, 3 power 2 is 9, 3 power 3 is 27, 3 power 4 is 81, 3 power 5 is 243. So you can see that cyclicity of 3 is 4 times. 3 raised to the power 4 is the cyclicity. After then it is again repeating the same thing. The unit place will repeat it same way as 3 raised to the power 1, 3 raised to the power 2, 3 raised to the power 3 and 3 raised to the power 4 is being shown. So here I can write it 3 raised to the power 4 and this will give you 64 and this will give you, because 16 4s are 64. So here you will get 81 power 16 power 64. 81 on division with 7. 81 on division with 7 gives remainder 4. 11 7 ja 77 plus 4 is 81. So it is giving the remainder as 4. So again you will see what, therefore you have to check for the 4 raised to power 16 raised to the power 64. Again we will see the check the cyclicity of 4. Okay, or you can better check the cyclicity of, this is for 2 square 16 power 64. So you can write it as 2 raised to the power 16 to the 32, here 64. Now check the cyclicity of 2. 2 power 1 is 2, 2 power 2 is 4, 2 power 3 is 8, 2 power 4 is 16, 2 power 5 is 32. What is the cyclicity of 2? Again 4. So we take 4 from the 32. So 4 8s are, so 8 and 64 will be there. 2 power 4 is 16, 8 power 64. Now 16 on division with 7, what you will get? 16 on division with 7 gives remainder 2. So what you will get? 2 raised to the power 8 power 64. Again same thing. So this time what we will do? This time we will do 8 into 64 is how much? 8 into 64. Okay, and this can be written as 4 into 2 into, like this, 4 to 8 and 4 4 is 16 4 is 64. So what happens is that you will get like this, 2 raised to the power 4 whole raised to the power 64 and whole raised to the power 2. Okay, how it is coming? It is coming like this, 2 raised to the power, from here I have taken, and this is the next time, and this remaining is the after that. So what benefit you will get is that, again 2 raised to the power 4, cyclicity is 4, so every time you will get 2 as the remainder, and finally raised to the power 2, so 4. Okay, therefore remainder is 4. Thank you.